Good day, everyone. This will be the feasibility study presentation by Team AVINANTO. So to start, we have the executive summary. VAST is a progressive web application designed to support students in exam preparation by transforming raw academic materials into structured and multimodal study guides. The system integrates annotation tools, flashcard generation with spaced repetition, and text-to-speech playback to accommodate diverse learning styles. For the productive or service background, VAST was conceptualized in response to the growing need for personalized and efficient study tools for students. Traditional methods often lack structure, accessibility, and adaptability in different learning styles. VAST addresses these gaps by offering a unified platform where students can organize their materials, generate reviewers, and engage with content interactively in both online and offline modes. The objective of VAST, or the objective of this project, is to provide a web-based study guide system that converts academic materials into structured reviewers supporting visual, auditory, solitary, and tactile learning styles. It aims to improve study efficiency, accessibility, and personalization for students preparing for their examinations. The project scope involves the development of a client-side progressive web application with features such as document parsing, generation, annotation tools, flashcard creation with spaced repetition scheduling, and text-to-speech playback. And also, offline functionality and installability are core components. The target market for VAST would be primarily college students who are actively seeking effective and efficient ways to prepare for their exams. This target market involves learners who often struggle with organizing their study materials and requiring more structured approach to their academic preparation. The market need for VAST or this project, students often face challenges in managing fragmented resources and identifying study methods that suit their learning style. VAST addresses this by offering a centralized, customizable, and multimodal study platform that enhances retention and engagement. Of course, there's competitive landscape in this field. The competitive landscape for study aid applications includes several well-established tools such as Anki, Notion, then there's Quizlet. These existing systems provide valuable functionalities individually, such as note-taking, flashcard creation, and spaced repetition, but not as unified. Next, for the technical feasibility, of course, we have Agile software development methodology will be used, allowing iterative progress through phases such as planning, design, development, testing, and deployment. Each sprint will focus on a specific feature set with user feedback guiding its refinements. Next, we have the required resources. We have web application development platforms, which we're going to use VS Code and GitHub. We have browsers for testing, mainly Chrome and Safari. We have mobile and desktop devices for platform validation. Of course, we have design tools, preferably or mainly Figma, version control system with Git and browser native APIs, which would be an index DB or index database, and text-to-speech. Skill sets needed. We have web development skills, mainly HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We need UI and UX design prototyping skills, browser API integration, testing and debugging across platforms, and documentation and technical writing skills. Next, we have the economic feasibility. For the initial investment, we have web app development costs around 12,000 pesos using free or discounted student resources and open source tools for design and copyright. Deployment costs roughly 3,000 pesos for web hosting and domain registration, with a total of around 15,000 pesos. For the revenue projection, we have VAST is offered free to all users during its initial launch to encourage adoption and user feedback. Since it is non-commercial at first, revenue will not come from subscriptions or in-app purchases. So there are other ways or other potential alternative revenue streams. We have educational grants or funding, sponsorship from academic organizations, voluntary donations from users and supporters, and of course, optional premium features for future customization. For the break-even analysis, we have initial investment, as I said, 15,000, 12,000 for the development, and 3,000 for the deployment. We have first year revenue of 0 pesos because, as I said, non-commercial at launch and free of use. So the break-even point is deferred to future monetization phases. The return of investment, we have the project will be intentionally operating under a negative ROI in year one, given the revenue of again 0 pesos, with the prioritization of adoption and feedback in its initial launch phase. Future ROI will be realized once monetization strategies like the educational grants or um, future features that can be added to the system. ROI projections will be recalculated based on actual revenue streams in subsequent or following years. Next, for the legal feasibility, we have regulatory considerations. We need to consider compliance with data privacy laws, use of open source libraries and proper licensing, and of course, you have accessibility standards for educational platforms. We also need to consider ethics for the ethical consideration, no data tracking for or user profiling, inclusive design for diverse learners, transparent feature limitations and disclaimers, and of course, respect for intellectual property and uploaded materials. Next, we have the operational feasibility for the operational plan. We have 3 phases. Phase 1 for the planning, requirements gathering, and UI UX prototyping. For the phase 2, it's the core development of the system. And for the phase 3, testing, deployment, pilot feedback, and documentation finalization. For the staffing needs, we need these personnel: project manager, web app developers, UI or UX designers, and of course, documentation personnel. Next, we have the scheduled feasibility for the project timeline. For the first 2 months, conduct research, planning, and requirements gathering. For month 3, we need to finalize the UI and UX and prepare development environment. From month 4 to month 8, cycle through development and testing phases using agile sprints, the main development of the system. And from 9 months to 10, system deployment, launch, and market campaign. In conclusion, VAST is a thoughtfully designed study guide web application that leverages modern web technologies to support diverse learning styles. Its user-friendly interface and content conversion capabilities make it a valuable tool for students in preparing for their examinations. The system is technically feasible, economically sustainable, and operationally sound for initial deployment. For the recommendations, VAST offers a unified, accessible, and customizable study platform for students. Recommended steps include a more thorough pilot testing, refinement based on user feedback, and exploration of partnerships for long-term sustainability. That's it for the feasibility presentation by Team AVINANTO. Thank you for watching.